like any self-respecting wannabe overlander dork, I am gonna need some off-road lights on the 4Runner. And maybe one or two other accessories. The problem with accessories is you add one thing and then another and another, and then you end up with wiring spaghetti. And that mess is just not going to fly with me. So I decided to start things off right with separate wiring for accessories. After watching Chloe Kuo do that with her Tacoma, I thought, hey, this is something I can handle. Also, by buying all the pieces separately, it wouldn't be very expensive. I love a clean OEM look, and even have 4 open slots in the dash for factory switches. But the more I watched, the more overwhelming it all seemed. So when Yota Xpedition put their plug-and-play kit on sale, I snapped it up. I am not going to get my factory switches, but I think I can mount the keypad in a classy way still. This is not an instructional video, it's more to show how the install went for an average person and what I did differently. For install instructions, I highly recommend Yota Xpedition's videos, which were my guide for this process.
So you can see right here on the firewall, we have a rubber plug. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. I'm going to be running some wiring through there. And we're going to take this single small power wire that's going to be running to the interior fuse box. And then we're going to be running both of these wires through that hole in the firewall.
Alright, well, easier said than done. Alright, you just gotta push it downward, I guess. You just gotta keep feeding and hope for the best. Success. There it is. Alright, then I think we gotta do the red one. Alright, you have to be a little more proactive with this one. You can see the connector sticking out. You just gotta grab it. There we go. I had my washers mismatched before, so yeah, 2 of the same size on the same size bolts. Duh. How's that sucker gonna get down there? Oh, these hoses over here. I think they're relatively important too. I lost my bolt holes. There we go. Alright, everybody out of the way. I'm just gonna need a little crescent wrench to get these daddies in here. Half turn at a time. You know, I think I have to leave these a little loose because we gotta line up the one in the fender well. So I'm gonna leave these a little loose. Okay, supposedly it's this left hole, and you gotta mount this carriage bolt from the back side in. Alright, oh, okay, it's actually too low. There it is. That's the slot. There's something in the way there. Alright, it took some manipulation, but I got it in there. I had to kind of use my forefinger to push up that hose and my middle finger to push up the bracket. Now we need washer and lock nut. See, I tightened those back up. And So I think I can get it to go right there. I would be satisfied with that. And I did flip around the this front panel, so now the wire comes out of the left. So I'm hoping if I take this blank out, I can just string it right through there and then just stick this on. So we'll see. First I have to figure out how to get that out. I think you gotta pull this panel out. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna check for rat mummies first. No rat mummies. There we go. That guy down there. And it looks like I gotta get in there and pinch it somehow. Small hands power. Ta-da! Should be left aligned or center aligned? I'm thinking left aligned. Alright. Okay, so I gotta connect the two pieces still. Alright, so now I have to connect this to the piece that I strung down here. So I gotta find where it went. There we go. Okay. Now we need to connect this piece and this piece. Yep, nailed it. Okay, now you can screw it on. I'll zip tie all this together at some point. Now I gotta worry about powering it. I think it's safe to put that back together. Now he routed this one under here, it seems like. String it under the battery wire because it's not gonna go next to it.
Hooking it up right here on our terminal.
All right, wish me luck, I'm scared. All you saw was probably the back of my head. I'm sorry. I didn't die. Not yet. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Stay there for now. There we go. Why don't you ratchet like you're supposed to? You ratchet. Alright, somebody monkeyed it on there. I'm gonna monkey it on there. Well, who is the idiot who skipped over the attaching to the fuse part? Yeah, apparently that was before the black cable down there. Alright, hey there. So this is my fuse cover, and the recommendation is to put the add a fuse on an existing fuse that is on when you turn the key on, so you don't accidentally run down your battery. But there are some lights that I want on when the key is off, so I'm going to try and find a slot that has power when the key is off. So according to my research, this fourth empty slot always has power. So which way is top and which way is bottom? How did I get this out of here? 30 in the upper right hand corner. Okay, so it goes this way. 15 and we're looking for this blank one right here. How does this even go in here? See, this is the orientation thing. I don't know if the wire's supposed to go away. There we go. Oh, my switch panel just lit up. So we have power. Can I turn it off? That is the question. Ah, we have just flashing red. And it won't turn off. That's what I was afraid of. Alright, well, I'm going to disconnect it and do some research. Cool. One thing is that once you put that add a fuse in there, your cover won't fit anymore, so throw it in your glove box. Update: the VHB, the 3M VHB double stick mounting tape was absolutely pointless. Might have something to do with all of the shiny chemicals I have on this. Maybe an alcohol and some sandpaper might have helped, but it is now held on with Velcro. Yep, still works. I gotta figure out how to change the color because I'd like it to be blue. I was able to change the color just like the video does, but in the video you press this, the on-off switch in the lower right, but since it's flipped, you press this and then the upper left, and I was able to cycle through the colors until I get blue, which is great. Okay. All right, update. So I really want to put the inverter down here, the inverter switch down here, and the rear wiper up here. Both of them, there's not a lot of slack on that wiring, so it's going to be a stretch. So I might wait to connect those until after I get this guy in here, because once I connect him, I'm not going to be able to move this very far. Maybe they're not swappable. I had to just, from the outside, pry it up, and it popped out. Let's see, and this one is also a 2 together on the right, 2 far apart on the left. So I don't think that the inverter is going to fit there. Maybe I just wasn't being aggressive enough. It looks like I could probably jam that sucker in there. Ho 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 ho. And the question is going to be, how am I going to plug it in? Because the space back there is so tight. Well, inverter fits up here, wiper does not fit down here. Dang it. No matter how aggressive I am, I might need to modify something. Now you can really see the sort of different groove configurations in these. So you got 2 close together, you got 2 far apart, you got 1 wide one, this is another 2 close together. So they are not interchangeable. And what I'm running into in the wiper blade is this is a 2 grooves that are far apart, and it's hitting the hump in the middle. So I'm thinking about dremeling that down. I really didn't want to permanently do anything to the dash, but I can't think of an alternative. Like that. We need plastic dust in there. Sure, I hooked up everything right. That on? Yeah, it's on. Off. On. Off. Sweet. It's not the prettiest finish. You can still see a space around it, but I can live with it. To see if this will even fit in here, I kind of dry tested it. I could already see that there's a problem with this, is that these brackets are not going to go in these holes. So, already a problem. I might be able to pinch them tighter. Might have to add a little foam padding right here, but I think that would work. As long as I can zip tie it tight enough. And this is what's happening now. I have the zip ties looped around the 2 mounting plate thingies and around the spacers in between the button holders. And my only concern is once I get this all tightened, it's going to move up and down. But I'm hoping if I tighten it enough, that'll be okay. So I'm going to get to it. This requires both hands. Alright, I got them cinched down as hard as I could with the pliers. and it's pretty snug. There's a little bit of gap there on the side. Gap. I did put that foam tape in there, but it's kind of squished out a little bit. But it's pretty well in there. Yeah, it's tight. So I'm gonna snip the zip ties, connect it up, and see if it works before I shut the dash. All right, we are wired up again. So, yeah, we got power. Cool. I gotta put it back on blue again. That's solid. I'm gonna stick it back together. Take my little block. Hey, that looks nice. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to do a separate video on lighting, but I did want to at least show how adding an accessory went. And then tomorrow, wire it up. There's a 20 amp fuse, which is actually going to be useful because now I know which port to put it into in our fuse panel. So I'll use the 20 amp one. I think that's in there. Okay, go for it. There we go. There you go. Looks like it pierced it, yeah? Yeah. And then twist them a little bit? Right, red is positive. Yep. I think I have to open these up first. If this screwdriver gets in there. Thank you. There we go. If I turn them on again, watch your eyes. So make sure I get the right one. Though there is only one accessory switch in use, I went ahead and added some of the other decals just to reduce the glow when it's on. All right, I'm doing it. Just quickly. I just want to see. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, neighbors. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna turn it off quickly because I don't want to be a dick.